Daf Ayin Zayin is sponsored for Refuah Shalema for Devora Bas Chaya Rivka. This daf begins with the conclusion of Daf Ayin Vav Amid Beis. Gemara yesterday established, according to Rav Shimon, the thief is liable to 4 and 5 because the slaughter is legal based on the rule Kol ha'omed lizro kezaruk dami, Kol ha'omed lifdois kepadui dami. On this daf, both of these rules. Number 1, in respect to sprinkling, the Gemara proves it from the law of Nosar. Sacrificial meat, left beyond its allotted time to eat, becomes contaminated as long as there was enough time to sprinkle the blood of the carbon before sunset, even if the sprinkling was not actually done. The law of redemption is learned from the Paraduma. It can be redeemed even after its slaughter if a nicer one is found, even if it did not become disqualified. Therefore, at that time, it becomes susceptible to Tumas Ochlin, even if it was not actually redeemed. The Gemara goes on to explain there were 2 opinions. How earlier the Gemara mentioned these opinions as well. How Rav Shimon holds one pays 4 or 5 as a thief for an animal consecrated that he is responsible to replace. The owner is responsible when the owner said, Harei Olai Ola, or the thief, for that matter, said, Harei Olai Ola, and something happened to the animal, so then he would, if he's responsible to replace it, if something happens to it, according to Rabbi Shimon, the slaughter is considered a legal slaughter, because it's still the animal of the owner and not of Hegdish. He should not be liable because slaughtering outside the temple disqualifies its use, making it an illegal slaughter. And according to Rabbi Shimon, shchita she'ein ruya eina shchita. According to Rabbi Yochanan, he answered that the case that Rabbi Shimon is talking about is where he slaughtered it unblemished in the temple, which is a kosher shchita. Reish Lakish explains it as blemished, and he slaughtered it outside the temple, which is also a kosher shchita. The argument is based, according to the Gemara, on the verse. Reish Lakish understands the juxtaposition of tvicha umechira to teach only an animal that can be sold can be liable for slaughtering. Therefore, he explains the case of Hegdish as shochet balei mumen bachutz, an animal that was blemished and he slaughtered it outside the temple. Whereas Rabbi Yochanan holds they are not dependent on one another. Therefore, he explains the case of Hegdish, according to Rabbi Shimon, as even shchitas tamimim bifnim, where he shechted a unblemished animal inside the temple, an animal that cannot be sold. Their explanation impacts on slaughtering a treif as well. According to Rabbi Yochanan, one is liable to 4 and 5 even though it is a shchita she'eina ru'uya. Still, since the animal can be sold, he has to pay 4 and 5. According to Reish Lakish, since he cannot be liable for slaughtering, he cannot be liable for selling.